This is a Dragon Blazer production.
Coming soon to a podcast near you.
You're after something. Is it revenge? Money? Or is it something else?
You look good. A little rough around the edges, but good.
Heard about a job. Big shot gangster putting together crew.
I'm a driver, and I'm a flyer. I waited a long time for a shot like this. What do you think? Well, what do you know?
You got a line on a ship?
Yeah, I know a guy. He's the best smuggler around.
I heard a story about you. I was wondering if it's true.
Everything you've heard about me is true.
L3! Let go of the mean man's face.
Who are these guys?
If you come with us, you're in this life for good.
You might want to buckle up, baby.
Here they come! Let me give you some advice. Assume everyone will betray you, and you will never be disappointed.
I got a really good feeling about this.
Since when do you know how to fly?
190 years old? You look great.
Push it!
So glad we took this job!
Hello and welcome to another episode of Coming Soon to a podcast near you. I'm your host, Dubaka. And of course, my co-host, Xavier Solo. No?
Baka in Japanese means stupid.
Did you know this middle finger in America means... Never mind.
So anyways, we watched the 2018 film Solo, a Star Wars story. And
That's correct.
we actually watched this just now, actually.
I just finished it just now. I watched most of it last night and fell asleep.
Right, because that's what you do. You fall asleep when you're watching stuff rather than actually paying attention to it, keeping yourself awake.
I was watching it. I just was tired and fell asleep.
Yeah, because that's what you do.
That is what
Anyways,
I do.
yeah.
Feeling a lot of judgment from your end, and I don't know if I appreciate that.
No, well, at least it's not juvenile judgment. And there's no jurisdictions either. Just judgment. Just
Call
also
back
starts
to
with
our
J.
original podcast.
Yeah. Wouldn't this technically be like season 3 if we counted like the 2022 as like season 2 and then juvenile jurisdictions of judgment like season 1?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this is technically our second podcast with 2023. It's our first among the Star Wars watch, and this is and we got a pretty killer start to 2023 as well with The Thing.
The thingy.
Yeah, the thingy. But today, we are watching the origin story of Han Solo, a character who we have not... Actually, we did meet with the, we did kind of meet with, Star Wars Holiday Special, but we don't talk about that. Canonically, this would technically be the first appearance of Han Solo. Because if I believe correctly, if I remember correctly, this happens before episode 4.
This is before the original trilogy. Absolutely.
Okay.
Han Solo
So, yeah.
is already established smuggler. This is a prequel. This is also before the holiday special, which actually happens after episode 4.
Yes. But we have a wonky order, and the wonky actually the order makes a little bit of sense actually, since we decided to watch the holiday special prior to Christmas. Although we didn't technically do that. But schedule-wise, we did. Anyways, this movie was... I liked it. I liked it a lot, actually. Yes. Solo and Rogue One, actually, are two movies that aren't within the, like, any of the trilogies. Technically, Holiday Special is too, but people don't really count that movie. It's not canon, so I don't think it's really counted. And I didn't even know it was non-canon until, I don't know. I don't really care much about the canon of the story, but I do really like the story nonetheless. And this had a pretty good prequel to Han Solo, character who we have definitely not seen yet up to now. So, anyways, why don't we get on with the synopsis? Okay.
So, the synopsis of
Oh
Solo.
my god, I am weird.
Yes, you are.
You have a beard.
I do. I do have a beard, that is true. My friends all laughed. Oofsa.
That is a good reference. I like that. I like VeggieTales. VeggieTales is fun.
That's what I thought of when you said you have a beard. That is weird. Sure, I am weird.
She had a beard, and it felt weird.
Oofsa.
Okay. So, moving away from VeggieTales to Solo.
Alright,
So, yeah,
Han and Kira, I believe her name was.
Yes.
Played by Khaleesi from Game of Thrones.
I have not watched that.
It's probably for the best. I'm not sure. I know you're
Don't
19,
say that, because
but...
then... Don't say that, because then I'm gonna just be even more interested, man. And I have enough interest in, like, TV shows to get me through anime. I don't really have enough interest to, like, get myself through, like, live-action TV shows for the most part. I mean,
Well,
I don't know if Game of Thrones is, like, a bunch of, like, hour-long episodes, but I don't really... I'm fine with Lucifer, but, man, I have trouble sitting through shows that have episodes, like, over 40 minutes long.
well, Game of Thrones is definitely hour-long episodes. And it's just got some fun elements like, brothers and sisters banging, main characters getting unceremoniously murdered a lot, over and over, another dead main character. It's a very brutal and crazy show.
Isn't what you're describing kind of like Star Wars? Brother and sisters kind of banging. Main characters getting killed off.
You know what the biggest difference between the two are? in Star Wars, the two that kiss that are brother and sister don't realize they're brother and sister.
Okay.
In Game of Thrones, they're fully aware. Very much so.
Solo, a Star Wars story, 2018. This movie starts off with that pretty well, actually. There's a lot of people doing people stuff at a people planet, although not a very cool people planet. Solo, although his name is not Solo yet, the way he got the name Han Solo is pretty interesting because Solo is not his last name. He doesn't have a last name until this random, I don't know, security guard says, "Hey, you're okay, Han Solo."
Yeah, that was one of the cheesier aspects, but
I'm fine with it. I liked that. I liked that though.
Well, I remember when it first happened. I thought it was really bad. Rewatching it, I realized that he doesn't actually give himself that Solo name. That was the guy saying it, but it's still kind of whatever. But anyway, so he gets out, but his the love of his life doesn't. And then he becomes part of the Empire, right? It was the Empire he's working for, right? The beginning?
Yeah, I think he's a bounty hunter, maybe? I don't know.
No, not at the beginning. At the beginning, he's just working for the Empire. And then he gets betrayed by those people and then meets Chewbacca. And he can speak Wookiee.
Kind of.
And they decide to.
I mean, how he's able to speak Wookiee is interesting, but I don't know. It's interesting, but you don't need to question it. Nobody needs to question it.
I wasn't questioning it. He speaks Wookiee. It's what happened.
Don't deny yourself, Father.
I didn't deny myself. It's what happened.
So, anyways, he meets Chewbacca.
It's like beef. It's what's for dinner.
And because he was able to not only free Chewbacca but apparently befriend him, the people who are leaving the planet decide to stop for him and let him in, along with Chewie. And thus, Chewbacca has entered the story. And in a few years or so, Life Day will happen, and we will see his family, which everybody was wondering and asking for.
Yeah. Well, they weren't doing that at all. No.
Yeah. Everybody was wondering, what was Chewbacca's father's fantasies?
No. Definitely no. All the no's.
What does Chewbacca's wife watch while she's cooking?
Nope. Nobody asked for that.
Is it a four-armed humanoid that looks like a girl, kind of?
Why are we still talking about that special? It's so bad.
Because it's poison! Okay. Anyways. So, yeah.
Anyways, he gets into a group of thieves. Yeah, thieves.
Thieves.
And thieves.
Yeah, thieves.
And they try to pull off a job that goes really bad. They lose 2 people. I don't remember the names.
One of them was Rio, because I always remember that song. It's like, her name is Rio, and she's something. I don't remember the lyrics of the song.
No. It's, her name is Rio, and she dances on the sand. And she goes to the Rio Grande. Something like that.
I haven't heard enough of the song, so I don't know. I sang as much as I can. Her name is Rio!
Ow! No,
Oh,
don't
I'm
do
so
that.
sorry.
Don't
Oh my
do
god,
that.
I'm sorry. Yeah, skip it. I'm
Skip that.
Yeah.
Ow.
I am so sorry.
I have lost my eardrums now.
Anyways,
I can hear you very well. Just so we're clear. Like super, super well.
let's talk about the movie now. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So sorry for that. But yeah, Rio was like the guy who was like piloting the ship, but then I don't know, got shot or something. I don't remember what happened, but like he had a lot of burns on his.
Yeah, he got shot from behind.
Okay. Yeah.
Then he killed the person that shot him, but it eventually killed him. Which, I mean, come on, you can't. It's a flesh wound. You can't survive one shot to the back. Come on now.
Yeah. It was just a flesh wound.
Flesh wound. And then, well, to save everyone, they decide to drop the train with the supplies that they're looking for, and pisses off his partner, played by Woody Harrelson, who was awesome because he's Woody Harrelson, and he finds out that they were working for Crimson Dawn, and that was who they were supposed to get the crap. I can't remember what it was called. Refined Coaxium.
I don't know,
Coaxium?
but I'm gonna call it coagulant because I'm a Dragon Quest fan. Speaking of weird anime-esque things, Crimson Dawn definitely reminds me a lot of Black Clover. I know you haven't really. Yeah, actually, I showed you a little bit of it.
It's awesome.
Because there's two magic brigades in Black Clover. One is called Crimson Lions, and another is Golden Dawn. This reminded me of that.
Gotcha.
So I'm wondering if there's
just gangs. Gangs reminded you of gang-like things.
Yeah,
that's what they were.
It's not technically a gang; it's a magic brigade. And there's a bit of magic in Star Wars, except when there isn't.
It's a gang.
Anyways, yeah. So yeah. So they're thieves. They're thieves for another thief brigade of gangs. And it's at that gang brigade that wow, that sounds weird. That he finds his girlfriend.
Negative. Cut that.
Gang brigade.
No. Okay, we're not going to Pornhub. Anyways, so they go talk to the leaders, and they're like, "We will get you your money back and stuff." And so, yeah, this movie is them trying to get the money back from, or trying to find unrefined coagulant and bring it back. So they do that stuff quite successfully by finding and talking to Lando Calrissian. Now, here's the thing. The kid who played Han Solo, he did an alright job. He did decent. I thought he was...
Reminds me a lot of Leonardo DiCaprio, kind of, in a way.
Yes. He did a decent job.
He's definitely not as old as he is now, but, like, I don't know. Reminds me a lot of Leonardo DiCaprio. Or Frank Abagnale.
But here's the thing. Donald Glover absolutely captures Lando Calrissian. He does that role perfectly. I can definitely imagine him as a very young Lando Calrissian. Love Lando's performance. Give him a spinoff. I want more Donald Glover as Lando. Give it to me now, please.
Who was Lando again?
What?
Who was Lando again?
He's the one that has the ship.
Oh, yeah?
That he tried playing Sabak?
Was he the gambler?
The gambler.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Lando is a major character-ish in Star Wars. How?
I haven't watched the original trilogy in forever, man.
Well, I guess you'll find him.
No, I didn't know that.
You'll find out soon, I guess.
Okay.
Continue. Not knowing Lando Calrissian. Anyways. So, they go and get this stuff with the Millennium Falcon. And they get it from some place, I guess. And then the next scene is essentially, so in the original trilogy, which you will be seeing here very soon, Han Solo claims that he ran the Kessel Run in 12 parsecs. Or 11 parsecs. Can't remember which.
12.
Yes, 12. So, this essentially shows how he did that. And it's a cool scene. You get to see space octopuses, a weird red black hole thingy.
It's the return of the butthole.
The return of the... Wait a minute. What?
Remember Beavis and Butthead?
The butthole. That's...
The butthole. No, I want to get sucked into the butthole.
So yeah, you'll be hearing him say that a few times about how he ran the, thingy in 12 parsecs or whatever.
God.
It will be mentioned a few times. I promise. So, yeah. And it was cool. It was a cool scene. And then they go back. And then they find out that the group that stopped them from getting the Kawababa and was actually some rebels, essentially. There were some freedom fighters trying to stop Red Dawn from having it. And now, why would they want Red Dawn not to have it? Well, after some double crossing happens from many parties involved, and
betrayal there, betrayal everywhere.
They're throwing betrayals like Oprah. You get a betrayal. You get a betrayal. You get a betrayal. After all that, Kira and Han Solo fight Dryden Boss, I believe his name was, who's played by Paul Bettany. Do you know who Paul Bettany is?
Nope.
You know a certain AI human robot named Vision?
Yes.
That's Paul Bettany.
Huh. Wow.
Wow. So, that is Paul Bettany, and he plays Drayden Boss. Donald Glover, if you've seen Community, that's Troy from Community.
I have not seen Community.
Oh, that's right. Your sister likes Community. I thought maybe you watched it too. Well, never mind. But, so yeah, they kill, Drayden Voss, and the girl who was Khaleesi makes some vague references that she needs to do this to get them some money to buy a ship. And who appears?
Darth Maul!
Darth Maul!
Da 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 da.
Okay.
Ocarina.
Okay, calm down. You're really, really loud.
I know. It's Darth Maul, pal. Okay.
It is. So, here's the thing.
I'm trying. Oh my god.
Yep, nope, stop. Darth Maul. This scene is the whole reason I was like, I need to watch Clone Wars. His return is the reason I watched Clone Wars. And now I'm
Oh, yeah, he
actually
talked
watching.
in this movie. He talked in this movie.
Well, they also got, I guess there was some kind of thing with the original actor who did the voice of Darth Maul. Ray Park does the physical parts of Darth Maul. But there was a different actor, and they actually got the actor from the Clone Wars that voiced Darth Maul for this movie. I guess the original actor was not happy about that either. But still. But yeah, I looked it up and I'm like, how did he survive? What's going on? And I found out that they explain how he's still alive in the Clone Wars. Like, all of this, like, if you'd been watching the Clone Wars, you already knew Darth Maul wasn't dead. So yeah, this movie actually got me to watch the Clone Wars. And I'm glad I did. It's actually a really good series. And Rebels is getting pretty good as well. But yeah, so Darth Maul, and then Han shoots first. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
There's a big thing about how Han shoot first or Greedo shoot first. Well, in this movie, they make it very clear Han shoots first. Excuse me. And then they go, and he wins the Millennium Falcon by stopping Lando from cheating. Very good. And that's pretty much what this movie was. Now,
It was amazing.
for me personally, it was. I feel like this movie gets way more hate than it deserves.
I didn't know it was getting hate at all.
Oh yeah, it got lots of hate. You have
Of course it
someone.
was.
You have someone play a role made famous by frickin' Harrison Ford. Guess what? There's a lot of people that aren't a fan. They were not going to like this movie no matter what. I think this movie's a lot better than people gave it credit for. Is it the best? No. And I can almost understand people being like, yeah, I don't know. He was fine as Han Solo. Much different than Lando. Lando feels like Lando. I mean, Donald Glover does Lando perfectly. And this guy doing Han, he was fine. Like, he was just, I didn't look, I never saw him and was like, man, that's definitely a young Han Solo. That's a young Harrison Ford. And that's what we were supposed to feel. And I never felt that. I thought he felt fine. But it wasn't like I could see it. You know what I mean?
All I could think of throughout the movie is, like, is this girl gonna die? Because, like, how else is he going to get with, like, Leia or something like that? I don't really know. I don't want any spoilers. I don't know if she appears in the original trilogy or not, because I haven't watched the trilogy in forever. So
Okay.
don't answer that.
Well, first off, I would say, based on this movie, it makes it clear that she's still a villain. Like she's an actual villain. So the problem is I guess this movie got enough hate that as of right now, I don't think there's plans of making a sequel, and I'm sad about that because I'd like to see where the story goes from here. I'd like to see more Darth Maul. I'd like to see more of her. I would like to see a continuation of this movie, which I guess there was originally supposed to be a continuation, and because of the backlash, they canceled the sequel, I believe. Let me look. They might have changed it since then, but you tell me what you thought. You seem to really like this movie.
I think there definitely should be a sequel because, like, I want to see a movie where Darth Maul is a bigger focus as an antagonist, and he talks.
He talks a lot. I mean, watch the Clone Wars.
Yeah, but like a live-action version of him.
As of right now, there are no plans for a sequel.
Sadness.
Yeah.
Okay. People suck, man. People are way too nostalgic.
They essentially say never. But, yeah. Hopefully with time, people will be like, you know what? Solo did deserve a sequel, and we kind of unfairly hated it.
Yeah. So, what about the individual characters? Let's look at those guys. Han Solo, let's start off with him, because he's the protagonist. How did you like his character? Not just like with the acting, but like his portrayal.
I liked him. I liked him fine. Yeah, I liked him fine. Like I said, it's just I don't know if he tried hard to. I don't feel like he tried really hard to sound like Han Solo or Harrison Ford, but he takes the role of a little smuggler well, I guess. I like him.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily have any gripes about him. He didn't make an offensive version of Han Solo or anything. I just think if anything, the biggest issue with Han Solo is a lot of the characters around Han Solo were more interesting than Han Solo.
I think he was a pretty decent character. I mean, I'm not one to judge really because the most I remember, I do remember Han Solo. Of course I remember Han Solo.
That's good.
Yeah, he's definitely a big part of both the original and the sequel trilogy. But like, as a character, he was likable. He was
likable. I liked him a lot.
I think he was a lot more likable than I think in both trilogies. I liked him quite a bit in the sequel trilogies. I don't remember liking him too much with the original, but we're rewatching these things, so keep going with that. What about like the antagonists though? There was a lot of antagonists, kind of.
Yeah.
Let's start with the space worm dick thingy.
The space octopus?
Space worm dick thingy, yes. That's what I said. We're both saying the same thing.
Are we though?
Yes.
I thought it was cool. I always find space monsters pretty cool. Like, that are just like dealing with the pressures of space like it ain't no thing.
Space doesn't have pressure. That's kind of the problem. Because all of your gases would be spewed out of your like orifices if you were unprotected in space. Which is why you should always wear a condom, kids, especially in space. Anyway, okay. Your face. So, okay. So yeah, scientifically speaking, you can't have a living thing in space, but that's why it's always fantastic when you see like a space monster in like sci-fi movies, because you know that this movie is not bound by the limits of puny science. And the space octopus dick thingy looks fantastic.
It was cool looking.
Anyways, now antagonist number 2. Bring yourself up to the stage here. I don't really think there's much of an antagonist. There really wasn't exactly an antagonist to this movie. Just like people who seemed pretty cool, but then betrayed you. Kind of, yeah.
Darth Maul.
Yeah, I have to say. Darth Maul literally appeared for like, I don't know, 15 seconds throughout the entire movie, though.
Frickin' Kira. She's something.
Was she, though?
Kinda. I mean, she reported to Darth Maul after they killed Drayden Voss.
True. I don't know, I just have to... She wasn't exactly an antagonistic force, though, throughout the entire movie. She might... If there is a sequel to Solo, I see her maybe being an antagonist to that movie, but she really wasn't exactly an antagonistic force in this one. As for the I don't know, her secret boyfriend guy, who is also a mob boss. He's a mob boss, and he does that relatively well. I love the crap out of his knife.
Drayden Voss.
Love the crap out of his knife.
I believe they call those vibro blades. They do.
Again,
not blades.
Not exactly immersed in Star Wars lore.
I know. That's why I'm giving you information.
Yes.
Well,
as you said in the last podcast, I am very desensitized. What is wrong with me, man?
So many things.
Okay. So, there's not really much to say about him, but there is some stuff to be saying about the gal. She's female.
Yes. That is accurate.
Okay. She's definitely reoccurring throughout the entire movie, and she is a bit of the focus for most of it. She's a bit of like she's not really a princessy character, but she is like a focus for the main character. So there is that. But she was a decently good character throughout the movie. She was a badass. She was. She did a lot of really cool things. A lot of cool things, yeah. She did cool things. I don't remember off the top of my head, though. She was I remember her being a decent character.
Sure.
Yeah. Anyway.
Sorry. So one interesting thing about her, something I read, is that she does I can't remember the name of the martial arts. She does a type of martial arts that specializes in fighting force wielders. So the fighting style she does is meant to fight Jedi or Sith.
That is interesting to know.
Yeah. It's one of the things I read when I read about this movie. Is yeah, she trained herself to fight force wielders if necessary.
Okay. So, anyways, then there's the traitorous guy who was like the leader, the kind of leader guy of the thief battalion thing. I don't know, who punched Han in the face.
Played by Woody Harrelson?
Yes, Woody, 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 Woody.
Woody, 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 Woody.
Woody, Woody.
Why do we gotta keep saying it like that? Yeah, let me get his actual name. His name.
Quality content. Once again.
His name is Beckett.
Oh yeah. Forgot about that. So yeah, he was one of the traitors, and oh my goodness, I really liked his character. He was acted really well. He had an amazing role in the movie, and I'm pretty sure almost everything he says pretty much sets up like the premise of the movie, like betrayal, trust, stuff like that. Stuff like that is definitely something that he says.
Yes, that is things he said.
Yes. Very informative.
Yeah, I liked how he told Han Solo early in the movie to not trust anyone. And it's foreshadowing, like, including him.
Oh, yeah. And he was referring to the Gorl, and the Gorl may or may not betray. I don't really know. She's a bit of a wild card at this point. I didn't really think of her much as a wild card, just like someone you can trust. Okay, but like now I'm questioning myself.
Yeah.
Anyways, then there's Lanny. I don't remember what you.
Lando Calrissian.
So, anyways, Lanny is a pretty cool character. He was the gambler.
Oh my God. And the news tomorrow is going to be like, host of the Coming Soon podcast, Xavier, was found on the side of the road. Complete revenge anger thing.
Yeah. I'd like to see you run after me, though. I have fate. So anyways, then there's the robot, L3, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And this
played by Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
And I don't know about you, but so far, this is my favorite robot. Not just in Star Wars, but my favorite robot. Maybe. I don't know.
Really?
Maybe not be thinking about.
I liked her a lot, but I don't know if
she was sassy. I love sassy robots.
She was.
Robots that, because it adds this feel of like, okay, they're computers, but they feel like human beings. Like that is incredible, and I love the crap out of it. Like,
and I love that
she is like this robot. She's a robot activist.
She's a robot activist, yeah. I loved her too, don't get me wrong. I don't know if I consider her my favorite robot of all time, but I love that her talk with Kira being like, well, as you may have noticed, Han is in love with me. And Kira's just like, how does that work? Oh, it works. So yeah, Lando is, or not Han, Lando. So yeah, Lando, it is very heavily implied. Lando is definitely banging that robot.
Or activist. No wonder she's an activist, man.
What? Because she's banging Lando? Okay. But yeah, she is a cool character. I agree.
Yeah, and oh my goodness, the part where she gets a robot rebellion to happen, like a droid rebellion, just happening everywhere. I laughed at that scene. That scene was hilarious to me. It's like, she's like, I remember what she said, but I remember laughing. It's like,
oh yeah, she's like,
I finally
this is what we came for. This is what I've been wanting for. She's like, I'm so glad we were on this mission.
Yeah. Oh my goodness gracious. That was awesome. This character was awesome. I think she might be my favorite character in the entire movie. I don't know. What was your favorite scene? My scene, it's probably that one. It's probably that one, that scene. What is your favorite scene of the movie? I don't think there's really anyone else to talk about. Except for Rio. My name is Rio, and no, not my name. My name's not Rio. My name's Xavier.
I think it's yes.
Do I have a name? Do I exist? Do I even...
Interesting. This is going
Do
weird.
you exist? Does anything around me exist?
No, nothing. Anyways.
Existential crisis time. Let's go.
So I'm gonna go. I think my favorite scene might be just seeing Darth Maul. The return of Darth Maul made me very happy.
Makes me really excited for a
So
sequel.
much so that I watched an entire cartoon series because I found out that's where you find out the story about Darth Maul. I love Darth Maul is what I'm trying to say. He's one of the coolest looking characters, and they did him dirty in the first movie. So, that's my favorite scene. Darth Maul returns.
Yeah. My favorite character is still my favorite scene is still the robot. The robot rebellion with the robot activist.
Oh yeah, the robot's great. The robot's great. That's fun.
Oh yeah. This is what I came here to do. I'm so glad we went on this mission.
Yeah.
Okay. How would you rate? Do you have a least favorite scene of the movie?
I just said.
Oh.
I said the return of Darth Maul.
Your least favorite.
Oh,
scene.
least favorite scene. I thought you said. Never mind. Least favorite scene. How he gets his name Solo. I thought that was dumb. It's really, really dumb. All the dumbs.
Sadness. Okay. My least favorite scene. I don't know. There's a lot of really good scenes. Maybe a few bad scenes. I don't know. I'd have to say. This is hard. This is very, very hard, and which is ironic because I'm definitely actually choosing the one with the giant space penis. So okay, I'd have to say probably like the whole scene on like that desert, not desert, but like I don't know, coastal planet. The coast of that one planet where like all these with the Marauders. I didn't like that too much. I didn't really get the point or whatever. It seemed like a weird mashup of mayo on a perfectly good sandwich when you should have put ketchup or barbecue sauce or even honey. I don't know.
All right.
But yeah, that would have been my least favorite scene. I don't know. What would you give this movie?
Would I give this movie?
Yes.
I'm gonna give it a 8. Let's say an 8. A solid 8. It's a decent movie.
Yeah.
I liked it.
I'd give it a 6.5.
6.5. You seem to like it. I thought you were going to give it much higher.
Bruh, just because I give it like under like an 8 doesn't mean I don't like it. If I give it under a 5, that means I don't like it. Like
I understand your
we've
logic.
talked about this. We've talked about this.
I understand your logic. I'm saying that based on the way you were talking, I expected it even higher. I'm just saying. Okay?
Fine,
Okay.
I'll give it a 7.5.
I mean, I'm not trying to force you to give it a higher score. I'm just
Sounds like
saying.
you are. Sounds
I'm
like you're
not.
trying to gaslight me into liking it more. Are you gaslighting me? On a podcast we're recording! This can be used as evidence in the court! Anyways, okay. Rotten
I would like-
Tomatoes.
I would like to give Exhibit B.
Hi, Thomas. I don't
Rotten
think I'm very
Tomatoes.
entertaining this
Guess
episode.
yours first.
Okay. I'll give mine with critics. I'm gonna say 79 and audience like 49.
Critic 79, audience 49.
Yep.
Is based on what I told you about the critic response. I'm going to give this 62 critics, audience 38.
Okay.
I'm hoping I'm going too low there, but. Oh!
Oh!
Critics gave this a 69%. Ha 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 ha, yes, let's go. Nice.
There's a joke there. There's a joke
There's a
there.
joke there,
obviously.
yes, yes. And audience
Yes.
gave it a 63%.
Okay, so
That is much higher.
you
than
are
I was
close.
expecting.
You are closer on the audience. I am closer on. No, I'm closer on the audience. You're closer on the critics. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. It's also good to know that the critics think of this movie as oral sex, which I was not thinking at all throughout this movie, but whatever toots your... I'm not finishing that. So, alright, Cinemantra time. Cinemantra time.
Cinemantra.
What would you name your gang brigade? What would you name your gang brigade, and what would you be searching for?
First off, phrasing.
Gang brigade? What is your name?
Now you're sounding like a Dalek.
Exterminate!
Exterminate.
Kill! Murder!
You'll have Raina pop in like, did somebody say Dalek?
She can't hear you. And I think she's upstairs. She usually is.
I see. I see. Wait, what was your question again?
My question is your gang brigade, your name, and what you are looking for. What is the name of your gang brigade? And what is the gang brigade
I don't
for?
murder people. I'm not a gang.
Well, you do now.
The
So tell
Dragon
me.
Knights.
Isn't that Nathan's Xbox profile
Damn it.
name?
Something else. I don't know. That's Dragon Knights. Just stick with that. My Cinemantra is,
What are you
If you-
looking for?
if you had to play Lando Calrissian
I give
in
you
a
a T.
game, okay. If you had to play Lando Calrissian in a game to get yourself your own ship, what game would you play him?
If I had to play a game? Oh, sort of like with gambling in the movie.
Yes, yes.
I would play Miss Pac-Man.
That's what you think you could win a ship off of? Yeah, yes.
Yeah, I'd play
Essentially-
Pac-Man. Pac-Man's fun, though.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, what game do you think you're good enough to beat someone to win a ship off of?
Oh, that is a good distinction. Sure.
That's what I was going for. So
Right.
my intention was for you to pick something you think you're good at that would that you think you could beat him at.
Mario Kart.
You think you're better than him at Mario Kart.
I know. I should be. Yeah.
All right. Just know that this is Lando Calrissian, and he is most definitely watching your screen every time. Because Lando Calrissian cheats. He cheats.
Okay. Now tell me, what do you think he's going to be able to do about that? I mean, seriously, even if you can look at your screen, people look at each other's screens all the time, but that means you're not paying attention to your own screen, and you're probably going to hit a banana peel.
He's bringing in a he's bringing in a Game Shark. Do you know what a Game Shark is? Am I really showing
Is it like
my
Game
age?
Genie?
Yes.
Is it like a Game Genie?
I forgot about Game Genie. Yeah, they're pretty much the same thing. Yes.
Okay.
Game Genie. I'll be damned. So you know
Wow.
Game Genie, but not Game Shark.
I do not know about Game Shark.
I'll be damned. I can't remember which came out first, but I'm going to go with Game Shark since you know Game Genie and not Game Shark.
All right, what do you give me?
I'll give you an 8. I like some Mario Kart.
Sweet. All right. Now, rather than go with Siri and her, I'm guessing bias, I am going to roll some dice.
Oh, yes.
That's
So
right.
why don't you explain what we're doing?
Okay, so I have two D10s, two 10-sided dice. One of them is like a 0 place. The other is a tens place. So I am going to roll these dice and then show the results on camera. So basically, what I'm going to do is, like, we have 48. It's a number between 1 and 48. What I'm going to do is roll them. If it's between 1 and 48, I'm just going to take one of those numbers. If it's over 48, then I'm going to subtract 48 from that number and then get that. If it's higher than 96, then I'm just going to roll again. Okay. Hopefully. Now tell me, Father, can you see the the dice thing? Can you see this?
A little lower.
That
works. Now we can see it.
okay. Can you see it?
It's
That is a
blurry. I
67.
can't tell you.
That is a
67.
67.
So you're subtracting 48.
That is correct, which means it's 19. 19. What is 19?
19 is apocalyptic.
Ooh,
I'm going to watch
interesting.
So the first apocalyptic movie I can think of that pops in my head would be Mad Max. Which is a movie the original. I've seen the sequel called Fury Road. The movie is one I've never actually watched. I've never seen the original. Now, will we pick Mad Max? I don't know. So I have to look and find out what we have available. But
Yeah.
it's apocalyptic. There's a couple good ones that I can think of off the top of my head. For example, Will Smith movie, which is called I Am Legend. It's a pretty good one. I mean, I like it. But, yep, we're going to find an apocalyptic movie to go with.
All right.
Uh-huh.
I am Cryo Keen Artist on Instagram, Facebook, both of which I've actually been posting a little bit on. But I'm also on TikTok and YouTube, which I haven't posted in a while, but I'll work with that. I'm also on Twitter, but you're not going to find anything there. So.
There's nothing to see here, people. Nothing to see here on the Twitters.
What about you? Tell me, Father. Who are you?
Who are you? Well,
who are you?
I really want to know. Anyways, so you can find me on Dragon Blazer Productions on the Facebook, the Instagram, the YouTube, and the TikToks. You can find me on Twitter at Dragon Blazer Pro. And as always, try to run the Kessel Run in less than 12 parsecs, and you will definitely die. Auf Wiedersehen.
Peace. Hello once again. Please, if you will, like and subscribe onto our YouTube page titled Coming Soon to a Podcast Near You, where all these wacky podcasts where we watch movies and review them go on. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Peace.